The next Kinnah Yud Zayin, chapter 17. Im Toichal no Noshim Piryam Oilelei Tipuchim. Some of the most horrific details of the suffering of Klal Yisrael that are written in this Kinnah. Every line, it gets just worse and worse. Also written by Rebbe Elazar Kali. It just goes worse and worse when you read this. How terrible it was, what they experienced. Im tigoizna pa'as roisham v'sikosharna l'susim porchim. It's a medrash. Chazal tell us the wife of the Kohen Gadol was tied by the hair to the tail of a horse and dragged from Yerushalayim to Lud. Every single line over here is another tragic, heartbreaking story of our history. This Kinnah is one big cry. How could all this happen? And if you go through the Kinnah and you read some of the English, you'll notice that much of it happened to children. If we can even say the words, the first line, a mother out of desperation ate her own child. The second one, a woman cooked her own child. The fourth one, the tongue of a baby out of thirst was so dry that the tongue stuck to the palate. Can you imagine? We can't, but the Kinnah wants us to. An adult that's so desperately hungry that eats its own child, it seems to be focusing on children. Yiddish children, when we hear a story about a child, seems to touch us much more. Seems to affect us. These are Yiddish children. How can we allow a Yiddish child, a beautiful neshama, an angelic face, an innocent child that did nothing wrong in its lifetime? H-Shem Schwab Zatzal once met a child. He met a Yid that escaped from the gas chamber, and he said that inside the gas chamber he was an aide to what went on. And they told H-Shem Schwab, they heard as they were being gassed, a young child turns to the mother and says, I was a good boy, why did this happen? When innocent children are tortured, when they're being hurt, we can't bear it. That's what this Kinnah is. But we also have to know that our children are our future. Our children, it's what's going to take us all the way to Mashiach, to the Beis HaMikdash. These innocent children, these beautiful children, they experience so much. When I interviewed a Yid called Hanan Al-Gez, you can watch the interview on the video, the Tisha B'Av video. When I interviewed him, it was probably the most inspiring interview, and I interviewed a lot of people. How a Yid can have emunah. After losing his wife, and they were driving to the hospital, she was in her 9th month, they were driving to give birth, and a terrorist opened fire on the way to the hospital. She was driving, she dies immediately. The baby survived 15 days. And Hananel told me that he had the painful, apart from his own pain, but he had to go and relay the message to his children. He had 3 children at home that were waiting for him to come home and tell us, was it a boy, was it a girl, the happy times that they were waiting to experience. And yet, he had to go and tell them that not only is there no baby, or there was at the time, but very sick, their mother is no longer. And he said the child was taken aback. And it took a few days until the Israeli security forces, the army, the police, they found the terrorist that shot at his wife, and they managed to kill him. And the child, Hananel told me, his child, his oldest child, who I met when I went to the interview in his house, said, wow, now I'm so excited, now I can shoot up to Shemayim. And I can also kill that terrorist again and again and again. The innocence of a child. Our children are our future. This Kinnah describes the horrific times that some of our children went through. Some of the worst explanations in all of the Kinnos are over here. The children that we put so much into, the children that we daven for, and we should daven for. These are our children. These are the children that are going to help us, that are going to lead us to the times of Mashiach, to the Beis HaMikdash, the innocent child. That's what we have to think of. When a child goes through pain, it hurts us so much more. That's what the Kinnah over here wants to do. Not chas v'shalom to cause us pain, but to let us focus. Focus on children. Focus on what they went through. Look at the English translation as you read the words. It's painful to read. But yet, Rabbi Eliezer Kali wanted us to understand that yes, children went through this. And when you read this, hopefully, you'll try to get into a little bit of the emotions of what they experienced and keep davening for ourselves, for our children, for all our future generations.